I'm 14 years old and I live in Springfield, Oregon, and before I tell you what happened, I just want to say this. I didn't go looking for anything dangerous. I didn't expect anything to actually happen. And I definitely didn't think I'd still be thinking about this every time I drive past that place. So, sit back, relax, and listen carefully. This happened on Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. That night, I was hanging out with my friend Val. Val is really into ghost hunting. Like, really into it. He had actual equipment. EMF readers, a REM pod, and something called a ghost bridge. If you don't know what those are, they're basically tools people use to detect electromagnetic changes or supposed spirit interaction. Normally, I wouldn't have taken any of it seriously. But Val had stories and confidence. And that night he had access. We were at South Eugene High School. Being there after dark already felt wrong. The campus looked completely different without students. Long hallways lit by flickering emergency lights, classrooms locked and silent, and that heavy quiet you only notice when a place should be loud, but isn't. Val actually went to school there. He was a TA and somehow he had keys. Before anyone assumes we were trespassing, we weren't. There was an after-school club meeting that night, and we had permission to be there. Still, that didn't make it feel any less unsettling. As we walked, Val told me about the school's history. Back in 1958, a student named Robert Turnbull Granke had been up in the auditorium rafters, about 55 feet above the ground. He was changing lights when he slipped and fell. He didn't survive. Over the years there had been reports. Lights turning on and off by themselves. Unexplained footsteps. That weird feeling like someone was standing right behind you when no one was there. I laughed it off at first. I mean, every old school has a ghost story, right? But the way Val talked about it, quietly, seriously, it made me uneasy. Eventually we reached the auditorium. The doors creaked louder than they should have when Val pushed them open. Inside, the room was massive, rows of empty seats disappearing into darkness. The stage barely visible under a few dim lights. And the moment we stepped in, I felt it. The temperature dropped. Not slowly, not gradually. It was like walking into a freezer. I checked my arms, goosebumps instantly. My breath started coming out in short clouds. It just dropped like 10 degrees, Val whispered. The auditorium had already been cold, but this was different. This cold felt intentional, heavy. So, the sound in there was strange too. No echo, no background hum, just silence pressing in from every direction. Val set his equipment down near the front row. The REM pod powered on with a soft mechanical beep. Nothing happened at first. We stood there barely talking. I kept scanning the rafters above the stage, the dark metal beams stretching high overhead. That's when I got this feeling, like we weren't alone. Not in a dramatic way. Not like something was jumping out at us. Just awareness, like when you suddenly realize someone is staring at you, even before you turn around. I shifted my weight, heart beating a little faster, and opened my mouth to say something. And that's when the REM pod made a sound. A sharp, sudden chirp. Val froze. I froze. Neither of us touched it. The air felt even colder. And somewhere above us, I thought I heard movement. At first, I told myself it was just the building settling. Old places make noise all the time, especially when it's cold. But this didn't sound random. It sounded deliberate, like a slow scrape, followed by a soft, hollow thump. Val looked up at the rafters too. I didn't even have to say anything. I could see it in his face. He heard it. The REM pod chirped again. Once, then twice. Val whispered, "Okay, that's not normal." My heart started pounding and I suddenly became very aware of how small we were in that room. The auditorium seats stretched out behind us like an empty ocean, and the stage felt way too exposed. Val slowly raised the EMF reader. The screen flickered. The numbers jumped, not high but unstable, like something was interfering with it, then backing off. "Robert," Val said quietly, trying to sound calm, "if you're here, you can touch the device." The words felt wrong coming out of his mouth, like calling someone you don't actually want to answer. For a few seconds nothing happened. Then the REM pod let out a long, steady tone. My stomach dropped. Val hadn't moved. Neither had I. The sound echoed slightly off the stage curtains, and I swear the darkness up there felt thicker somehow, like it was leaning toward us. I swallowed and whispered, "Val, turn it off." "Just one more minute," he said. I didn't like how focused he looked, like he forgot I was even there. That's when I felt it, a pressure in my chest. Not pain, just this heavy, sinking feeling, like standing too close to someone who's furious but silent. I wrapped my arms around myself, teeth starting to chatter. Then, footsteps. Not running, not loud. Slow. Above us. Each step spaced out, metal on metal, moving along the rafters. Val's face went pale. That's where he fell," he whispered. The REM pod suddenly stopped, dead silent. And somehow, that felt worse. We stood there, barely breathing, listening. One more step, then another, directly above the stage. I don't know what made me do it, fear, instinct, curiosity, but I looked straight up. The lights above the stage flickered. Once, twice, then they shut off completely. The auditorium went dark. Not pitch black, just dim enough that everything became shapes and shadows. I heard Val whisper my name, and right then, something moved in the darkness on the stage. Not fast, not dramatic, just a shape, shifting where nothing should have been. I felt this sudden, overwhelming urge to leave, like every part of my body was screaming at me to run. I grabbed Val's sleeve. We need to go, now. Before he could answer, there was a loud metallic bang from above us. Dust fell from the ceiling. I flinched hard, my ears ringing, and then, silence again. Too quiet. No equipment noise. No footsteps. Just the cold. The kind that sinks into your bones. Val finally nodded. Yeah, he said, voice shaking. Yeah, we're done. He reached down to grab the equipment, and the EMF reader spiked, all the way up, maxed out, right as the temperature dropped again, and right as I felt something pass between us. Cold, but focused, like it knew exactly where we were standing. I sucked in a sharp breath and stumbled back a step. The air between Val and me felt wrong, heavier, almost thick, like walking through fog you couldn't see. Val grabbed the EMF reader and shut it off immediately. The second he did, the pressure eased just a little. Not gone, just less intense. Okay, he whispered. That's enough. We're leaving. We turned toward the aisle, moving slowly at first, like we were afraid of making too much noise. Every step echoed louder than it should have in the empty auditorium. I kept glancing back at the stage. Nothing was moving, but that didn't make me feel better. Halfway up the aisle, I heard it again. The sound behind us. Not footsteps this time. Breathing. Oh, slow. Too close. I stopped walking. Val took another step, then noticed I wasn't beside him anymore. He turned, eyes wide. You hear that too? He asked. I nodded. It wasn't coming from the stage. It was coming from the seats, right where we had been standing moments ago. The breathing stopped. Then a seat creaked. Just one. Like someone shifting their weight. I felt dizzy. My legs felt weak, like they didn't want to work. We shouldn't run, Val said quietly. Just, don't run. That scared me more than anything else he'd said all night. We kept walking, step by step. The exit sign at the back of the auditorium glowed red, impossibly far away. I remember thinking it felt like the room had stretched, like we weren't getting any closer to it. That's when the lights came back on, not all at once, row by row, starting from the stage, moving toward us. Each section flicked on with a dull click. I didn't want to turn around. I didn't want to see what the lights were revealing, but my body betrayed me. I looked. The seats were empty, every single one. No movement, no shadows where they shouldn't be. Just rows and rows of worn fabric and metal frames. For half a second, relief washed over me. Then I noticed something. One seat, right in the center row, was folded down, like someone had just stood up. My chest tightened. Val saw it too. He didn't say anything. He didn't have to. We both started walking faster. Not running, just fast enough to feel like we were barely holding it together. As we reached the doors, the temperature finally began to rise again. The cold loosened its grip on my hands and I could feel my fingers again. Val pushed the door open, and we stepped out into the hallway. The door slammed shut behind us, not violently, just firmly. We stood there, breathing hard, listening. The hallway felt normal, too normal. The hum of distant lights, the faint sound of voices from the after-school club somewhere else in the building. Val leaned against the wall and laughed quietly, a shaky, nervous laugh. Okay, he said. That was real. I didn't respond. Something felt off. I looked back at the auditorium doors, and that's when I noticed it, a handprint, on the glass window of the door. From the inside, pressed flat, fingers spread, right at face level. The glass was fogged, like someone had been standing there, breathing, watching. Val followed my gaze. His laugh stopped instantly. Neither of us moved. The fog slowly faded. The handprint stayed. It wasn't smeared. It wasn't dripping. Just a clear, full outline, palm, fingers, even the slight curve of a thumb, pressed against the glass from the inside. Val whispered, "That wasn't there before." I didn't answer, because if I opened my mouth I think I would have screamed. We stood there for what felt like a full minute, maybe longer. Neither of us wanted to be the one to move first. Like if we turned away, something would change. Eventually Val reached for the door handle. My heart jumped into my throat. "Don't," I whispered. He froze. The handle slowly turned. Not fast, not forced, just enough to make the latch click. From the other side, the door didn't open. It just unlocked. We both stepped back at the same time. Nothing came through. No footsteps. No sound. Just that same heavy, aware silence. Then, from inside the auditorium, a single sound. Metal, scraping metal. Slow. High above the stage. Exactly where Val had said it happened. I felt sick. Val didn't hesitate anymore. He grabbed my arm and pulled me down the hallway. This time we ran. We didn't stop until we were outside, gasping for air, the cold night hitting us like reality snapping back into place. The school looked normal again. Lights on. Cars in the parking lot. Laughter drifting from somewhere nearby. Too normal. We stood there, bent over, hands on our knees trying to calm down. Finally, I said, "We're not talking about this, right?" Val nodded immediately. No one would believe us. Before we left, I looked back at the building one last time. The auditorium lights were on. All of them. Bright. Empty. Or, at least that's what it looked like. Because for just a second, and I swear I'm not imagining this, I saw a shadow move across the stage curtains. Tall. Like someone standing there, just watching us leave. Val stopped bringing his equipment to school after that. A few weeks later, he told me something I still don't know what to do with. Apparently, a custodian had reported finding the auditorium unlocked that night, even though it had been secured earlier, and one of the seats in the center row was folded down. They also found dust on the stage floor, right beneath the rafters. I don't go near that auditorium anymore. I don't ghost hunt. I don't mess with that stuff. And sometimes, when I'm driving past the school late at night, I swear I can see the lights flicker, one by one, like someone's still up there, making sure they're working.